Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mills podcast and YouTube channel. We're currently doing a series called 10 Questions with the Mills, where we get to know our Mills community better through asking each of our guests 10 questions about themselves. My name is Lofani Tani, and I'm an engagement coordinator at the Mills International Center, and I will be your host for today. Today, we are joined by none other than Filadelfia. Hello, Philadelphia.
Hello, my name is Philadelphia. I go to UVO and I am senior this year, but I'm graduating in the fall. I'm from Uzbekistan, which is in the Central Asia. I work at Mills as office manager right now, and I am a part of ICSP program, which kind of like really focuses on cultural exchange amongst domestic, international population in Eugene and the Springfield community. So
thank you so much for introducing yourself. And again, thank you so much for being here today. I'm really excited to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting.
Without further ado, let's get into our 10 questions. What is one thing that you do for self-care?
Again, I'm an international student, right? So before coming to US, I had no idea about, this term self-care. Yeah, it was very new. And I was thinking, first when I heard about it, I thought it's like, oh wow, it's a bit extra, the first time I saw this, I heard about this term, but it makes sense. I'm really trying to get some joy out of it. I call it kind of self-care. That brings me the most joy when I'm doing something. Of course, some of the school work is very joyful for me. Not all of the classes are joyful, but at the same time, besides doing what you have to do, I have some hobbies that I do. I really like painting, and I just love painting with oil. It's just mixing different colors together on the canvas. It doesn't really have to come out good or anything. It's just the process is super relaxing to me when I mix colors. I also really like watching documentaries since my childhood. My mom says everybody kids would watch cartoons, but I would watch documentaries. I love them for some reason. And I think since the pandemic, I've been doing more paintings lately. That's kind of one positive thing about the pandemic. It's really about getting joy out of it, and that's how I think of trying to take care of myself.
Wow, that's amazing. How long have you been painting for?
Not that long, to be honest. I mean, at school, since middle school, I always loved my art classes, but with oil, I think I started it probably 4 years ago, not so long ago.
And when you paint, say maybe you're stressed out, or like you said, you want to self-care and you paint, how does painting make you feel?
I don't necessarily do it when I'm stressed, but I find that when I'm painting, I don't really think about much stuff. So that's super relaxing, when you kind of can quiet down your mind a little bit. And it's not unusual, actually. I've heard somewhere that there's been a study that looking at different colors and combinations of colors relaxes your mind. So it's very human, and I find it super relaxing to me when I'm just playing, trying to figure out, when I see a good color combination that completely catches my focus. So that's why I think it's relaxing.
What's your inspiration? Do you see something and you're like, oh, I want to paint that, or this looks cool today, I'll paint that? Is there something that inspires you or something that you like to paint?
I think that the inspiration was from Yayoi Kusama, she's a Japanese artist, super famous. And some of her works are she has super graphic works, and they are very simple looking, but very patterned. It's millions and millions of patterns that go one after another. I learned that some of her works were as a way of her to meditate. She had some need for that. She had some mental issues. So she used it as a sort of a meditation. And I realized it actually is when you're doing painting, when you hold the brush on your hands, if for some reasons your my thoughts kind of quiet down, and it is meditative.
Imagine yourself in 3 years. What do you hope will be different about you then compared to now?
I was thinking of this question more in an emotional way. One thing I really want to bring more into my life is to take myself very lightly. I know one of my favorite actors has an expression, said something. He said, angels fly because they take themselves light. So yeah, it's about overthinking, it's about dramatizing, it's about not necessarily being a pessimist, but it's about delving too much into details, perhaps when you're in terms of your life. So I want to take myself light. I really want that. Like, I want to learn how to do it. I'm trying. I'm working it. So hopefully in 3 years I'll get better at it.
What is your favorite song at the moment?
I think if you look at my Spotify list, it is just jam-packed with something that is absolutely not related to one another. I listen to many kinds of things. But not lately, I've always loved some Latin American music. But I don't have a particular song, but I really like dancing. Sometimes I dance in my room by myself. Back in my country, I used to go clubbing a lot with friends. It's a thing in my country. So I really like Latin beat. I like this artist. He does dancing music slash rap. So it's, cool. It sounds really cool. So yeah, his name is Bad Bunny. So I like his songs, a lot of his songs. He just has the most amount of songs in my list for dancing. They have a very good beat. I really like dancing to them.
What's one thing in your life that you are proud of?
That's a very hard question. I think that, it took me some time to really know what I want to do in terms of professional career, to kind of find the field that I really like. When I was finishing high school, like, my dad was like super pursuing me to go to medical school. And I was like, Dad, I can't. But he was like, no, you can. I'm a surgeon. You're my daughter, So I didn't follow that. And then when I first came to US, I was pursuing like engineering field and then didn't really like that. And then when I came to UVO, I was majoring in biology, and I'm so glad that I decided on biology, and I'm super proud that I figured what I want to do in my life in terms of professional career.
It sounds like you made your own decision and you really were happy with that. What was one thing that you think you learned from that?
My sister one time said, she's an accountant, and yeah, hopefully she won't mind if I share, but she doesn't really love her job. And when I was telling her, oh, I was looking up this thing about biology, blah, 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 it's all when I was on a break, staying with her in Portland. And we started talking about my plans, my career plans. And she basically said, yeah, but it really sounds like you found what you want to do. And then she said, like, I don't look up, when I'm on my leisure time, I don't look up stuff about my field, like she says, I want to do nothing with it, when I'm on my leisure time, like when I'm not working, when I don't have to, but yet you do, so it's a good sign. So I think when your interest blends into things you'd rather do, that's the path I would pursue. It took me such a long time to realize that. So
what's one thing or one person that motivates you?
It's gonna sound silly, but the fact that we're all gonna die really motivates me. And there's another phrase. It's an old saying actually, and it's Roman. And in Roman it sounds ars longa vita brevis, which means art is immortal, like it's forever, and life is brief. That phrase kind of stuck to me. I don't see it as just applying it to art, but rather like whatever you do, it's like do your best, because when your creativeness, your work, what is like left behind, you want to leave behind something that it's forever and like thrive towards it. And then while your life is super brief, maybe it's, I don't know. Yeah, that phrase really stuck to me.
What do you want to do in 10 years?
I want to tie my life to research and science, because I like biological science. To me, I love universities, I love colleges. To me, that's like the heart of civilization. In a lot of the cases, people will say cities are the heart of civilization. But to me, it's universities, and they're kind of like the cornerstone of like what's good about being a human, I think. You're learning, you're connecting. It's just a community of professors, and like in science, it's a different dynamic. There's of course like there's bureaucracies, I'm sure, but largely it's about like collaboration. It's about like sharing knowledge. It's everything I love. I really want to be part of that type of community. So in 10 years, I hope to be a scientist, and I hope to be fully involved in that community and in the learning environments as such. It's really hard. It's very competitive. and I'm not doing very well so far, so we'll see.
I believe in you. I believe you can do it. So I'm going to send good energy. What is one thing you're good at?
I think I'm good at when I'm faced with some sort of fact, I like to question it. Like I think it's fun to look at things at different angle. Not necessarily good at it. I'm quite critical. Quite kind of like rigid at times. But why I think I'm good is because I kind of enjoy it. When things that get like very messy, very complex, I actually like. This is the reason I love biology, because it's an absolute mess. Like it's not like physics or math. It's completely messy. The fact that I enjoy it, maybe I'm good at it. So, yeah.
What did you want to be when you were younger?
When I was very, very young, I think my first profession as a kid that I was kind of telling people when people ask you all the time when you're kids, what do you want to be? I wanted to be an archaeologist for some reasons. I mean, I still love history. To this day, I love history. And especially, I really enjoy ancient history. It kind of like preserved, but I do really I wanted to be an archaeologist at first. Then I was like, I wanted to be an architect for a long time. Back in high school, when my dad was pursuing me to go to medical school, I wanted to be an architect. And the plan with coming here and getting engineer degree was that then I would go to architecture school for grad school. But then plans changed and I kind of switched to biology.
If you could give your 10-year-old self advice, what would you say?
I would say bring yourself back to reality and stop living in your head. But to be honest, I kind of liked myself when I was 10. I was fearless when I was a teenager and super young, early teenager. I could do crazy things. One of my friends, when I told her some of the things I did, she was like, "Oh, you were a rebel." Yeah, so I kind of liked myself when I was 10. Some of the qualities I feel like I have less right now, but since I remember myself, it's still with me. But I would really advise myself at a young age to try to be more rational and realistic. My youngest self would probably say, no, I'm gonna hold on to my dreams. Yeah, my younger self wouldn't listen to me at all.
They wouldn't listen to you.
No.
What's the best advice you've ever been given?
Oh, many. My mom knows that I really like to overthink. I just love doing it, and it's not necessarily a good thing. So basically, my mom was always telling me that take things light, just like my favorite actor, Stephen Fry. My mom always was telling me to be lighter towards life and everything, to not focus, on your emotions too much. When you kind of know that it's not necessarily important for you to analyze your emotions, just don't. My mom always was telling me, because she knows me, right? And I am I can overanalyze things. So that's why she's been telling me this all my life.
Well, those were our 10 questions. And I just want to say thank you so much for being here today and giving your great answers and just being very present. And thank you.
Thank you. I enjoyed it. Quite a reflection.
Thank you for tuning in for our 10 questions with the Mills. Don't forget to subscribe to the Mills YouTube channel and podcast for more content. Also, check us out on social media at The Mills, which is also linked below in the description. Take care.